To be a student in upper school is a lot of individualism, so you get to do a lot of things on your own. You get to take responsibility, and it's basically as much as the teachers are there and as much as you have the help and they're there for you, you have your classmates, it's a lot of you making your own decisions.
It gives the freedom for us to really pick our subjects and tackle them in a different way. So we're still learning a lot, but it's a big distinguish between, you know, just learning things for the sake of it. You're rather learning things because it's actually a topic that would fascinate you. And often we find ourselves learning about things that we don't like, and it turns out we necessarily don't need to do them in the end, you know. So I really like the way the system works, where it benefits rather the student than the classroom as a whole.
For me, it was actually amazing because I felt this huge change, and from going in a big class where I felt sort of less heard and more part of a crowd, to coming into this sort of very specific, like it's very crafted to each individual student, and that really allowed me to literally, it sounds quite cliche, but to become my own person and to develop in a way that I was comfortable with, and just it feels like a really close-knit community. And with the teachers especially, I feel like there's very important bonds that happen, which helps the learning and it helps the development.
It's really a nice transition going from the lower school to the upper school, because usually there's a lot of things you have to let go of. You sort of have to sacrifice many things you enjoy in the lower school to go into a more academic sort of lifestyle. But in our school you don't really have to do that. You still have all the same freedoms and all the same opportunities to pick your subjects to really fit your own abilities and goals. And even if you don't really have any clear goals, you still get to just do what you enjoy.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, because it's so different from, you know, from a mainstream sort of qualification. In a way, it's, like I was saying on the previous question, it just tackles education differently. So the thing with the Steiner certificate is that it gives freedom, and a lot of freedom, for the student to be able to in a way develop his areas of interest. So if I recall correctly, you can bring external subjects from outside of the school into the school to be added towards your qualification, and that's just amazing, because, you know, unconsciously in a way it explores individuality in students, which is just amazing.
If you compare it to a sort of more conventional certificate where you have exams at the end of the year, I would say it's equally as challenging, but in a different way. So with exams, you're building up to them and you're learning the content throughout the year. But with our qualification, it's just as difficult, but in a different way, because you have to be on top of your game all the way through. You have LOs, the sort of learning outcomes, dotted throughout the year, which means that every day you have to be performing your best to get the best results.
You really do personalise your own qualification. You cultivate it to it's like a pick and choose sort of way, like a pick and mix qualification. You just pick what you like and do it, or you can pick it to aim for some sort of future you have in mind. But it's really, really personal, which I love that, because I think it's great to do what you want.
I feel prepared that I would be able to make choices and decisions that will lead me to future steps, but at the moment it's very confusing. But I'm confident I have the tools.
I would say my structure of thinking is definitely prepared for the next step when it comes to university or life, as, you know, getting a job or something like that. But emotionally and economically, definitely not. I'm not prepared at all. I'm still very much dependable on my parents, and I guess it's part of it. We dedicate a lot of our time to education, so. But short answer, educationally wise, yes, but as a whole, probably not, no. Need a couple of months just maturing.
My next step is moving to London, so I feel very emotionally prepared. I'm not sure what's going to happen afterwards, So that's still something that I need to figure out. But I feel like the school has definitely prepared me to sort of handle any situation that I'm given with.
I don't think I've ever been prepared for anything in my life. But I think that's sort of part of the joy of it. You do one thing, you really enjoy it, then you move on to the next thing and you really enjoy it. The worst you can do is fail, and when you fail, you just do something else. But I've definitely gained a lot of confidence from being at this school to pursue something in the first place. I think a few years ago I wouldn't even dare to move out of home, but now I'm travelling by myself and doing what I want. And I think it's not necessarily the knowledge, the academic knowledge I've learned here that has helped me, it's more the personal growth, which I've just learned to communicate better.
Allow yourself to make mistakes, take risks, even if you're not sure, even if it's just you and none of your friends are there with you. Just allow yourself to think or do what you think is best.
It just ends up being down to you at the end of the day. You have a lot of support, the teachers will help you, and it's quite difficult for it to go wrong. But at the end of the day, it really is up to you. You have to make the decision to learn. And once you've made that decision and you're on it and you're engaged, then it's amazing, it's wonderful.
Don't worry about the future, really. While you're in lower school or you're still a kid, especially this school, there's so many different things you can use to be yourself and to learn about yourself and to try and fail in so many ways. You should really take advantage of those resources. Don't worry about whether you're going to be a doctor or an astronaut or something like that. It's great to have dreams, obviously, but worrying is for adults. You should really do what you want. Don't worry about conforming to some kind of education. While you're young, you can fail and pick yourself up, and you can do whatever you want and not affect the rest of your life, despite what people tell you, that you have to go to this university to do that. You really don't. You can do whatever you want. And if you have a conversation with an adult, they're probably going to tell you, I wish I'd done that.
School trips are always such an experience. The nerve-wrack it is to do a class 12 project, it is a highlight in itself.
Class 12 project was a big highlight. Very stressful, but the outcome was amazing for all of us. The class trips were very, very interesting and fun, and the class trip was really cool when we went to Greece. I think we all really enjoyed it.
Throughout the years, I've been here a long time now, so there's different ones for each year, but probably the school trips, I bet everyone says that, but they really are incredible. It's an amazing bonding experience, and you just learn so much about yourself and working with others, and so yeah, just the school trips mainly, best memories.
The school trips, I think, are a massive thing at this school, where you'll go on holiday with all your friends basically. You have to do a bit of work, but you leave the school grounds, you go on these amazing adventures and have a wonderful time, learn all sorts of things that you're sort of learning on the field instead of through a laptop or stuff like that. There's also, obviously, the teachers are really, they'll help you when you need it, even if you don't know you need it. So I've had moments where I've really been struggling and the teachers have come forth and helped me. And if you haven't got an assignment done, they will sit with you for hours and hours and help you get it done. And I'm not saying you should do that, but if you are in that position, you have that help available.
I guess from personal experience, it's been a journey, not only to find what I want to do in the future, but also just be comfortable in living in the present.
I would say the teachers as well. The teachers are very, very inspiring. They just, they're the difference when it comes to learning, and they are definitely a highlight that I will be, I'll remember probably in 10, 15, 20 years.